so that we can really see what went on and then gather some information from that to help our lives. Can I get a witness, somebody? Let us look at the text. In the text, we see Jesus coming back to the disciples saying, listen, these are some things that I need you to know before I go up into the heavenly realm. Think about it for a moment. He says, I want you to tell the people about me because you've already been here and you've seen me. He said I had to come so that the scripture would be right. I had to come to fulfill the scriptures. I had to come to establish a new kingdom on this earth. Anybody glad about a new kingdom on this earth? I'm glad about the new kingdom. So Jesus came and it was finished during the ascension. Most people realize that Jesus was on the cross and he said, it is finished. And when he said it is finished on the cross, people thought that that was it. That was the end. But in reality, when he said it is finished, he meant this portion of my assignment is finished. How many assignments of God have you finished? How many of you are still up there on the cross? How many of you are still twiddling your thumbs and not doing what the Lord? I digress. I'm sorry. I digress. I'm going back to the scripture. Let's go back to the scripture. Let's cut across the field, as Rudy Jr. said. Let's cut across the field and look at what Jesus is saying. He said, I had to come and establish the kingdom. I had to come so that the whole world, the whole nation will know who I am. Is there anything in anybody's mind right now that makes them think about how the world, he said the whole nation. I believe right now in this time, Jesus is talking to the whole world. He is not just talking to America, but he's talking to the whole world. And he's saying to all of us the same thing that he said to the disciples. He said, go and wait for me in Jerusalem. He said, I had to come to fulfill my Father's order. I had to come and establish a new kingdom. I had to come so that you would know who I am. Does anybody know who Jesus is? And then he says, stay in Jerusalem. And after he said, stay in Jerusalem, he asked them to go with him to Bethany. And when they went out to Bethany, he showed them a few things. He said, I've come, I've shown you, and now it's time for me to go to heaven. It's time for me to fulfill all of my responsibilities to the Lord Jesus Christ. And then right before their eyes, Jesus raised up his hands, he blessed them, and then he ascended into heaven. As he was blessing them, he ascended into heaven. I just want us to get a few things out of this. What do we get from this text? What do we get from this information? One of the things that we get from this information is if we look at place. Let's look at place for a moment. First he said, I want you to stay in Jerusalem until I dose my Holy Spirit on you. I want you to stay in Jerusalem until my Father's promise of the power is fulfilled on you. So when we look at the text and when we look at the work of Jesus, everything he did was a model for us. He didn't say, I'm going to do this in my own might, but he said, I'm going to do this according to my Father. Can I get a witness, somebody? Just high five somebody. Just tell somebody thank you. Go and hug your neighbor. Go hug your husband. Go hug your children and say, yes! A celebration. It's a celebration because Jesus tells them where to go. And when we look at where to go, he said, go to Jerusalem. Do you know what Jerusalem means? The word Jerusalem means peace. The house of peace. The land of peace. And then Jesus takes them to Bethany on a hill. And he speaks to them and blesses them as he ascends into heaven. A couple of things we get out of this. First, Jesus directs them to Jerusalem and says, stay there until you can get the Holy Spirit. And then he takes them to Bethany. Bethany means welcome, a house of welcome, and it also means the house of God. So he tells them, stay in peace, and you're welcomed in the house of God. That should have blessed somebody right there. That should have blessed somebody's soul. What that tells us that we can't get Jesus. We can't even get the Spirit of Jesus unless we are centered witness somebody. When you look at Jesus and his example to us in life, when you look at what Jesus did for us, and when you look at what Jesus did when he walked the earth, he gave us an example of who we ought to be as Christians. He didn't say sit around and talk about foolishness. He didn't say quibble over petty things. Jesus' example to all of us and the disciples was, I'm going to leave this word for you. You saw what I did. I just want you to go out and preach forgiveness. I want you to go out and make disciples. And I want you to go out and tell the world about who I am. We can't get centered in peace. And even when Jesus roamed the earth 40 days after his resurrection, he talked to the disciples. And the main thing he talked to the disciples about was peace and making disciples. Peace and spreading his word. Peace, repentance, and forgiveness. Can I get a witness, somebody? So where are we in the midst of this ascension right now today? What do we gain from this word today? I wish I had some praying people out there getting excited about the ascension, getting excited about what God is doing right now. The ascension is 40 days after Jesus was resurrected. Do you know most people don't even know that? Most people believe that Easter was it. Most people believe that when Easter ended, that was it, when Jesus rose from the dead. They never think about the 40 days before, during the Lent season. And they never think about the 40 days after. 40. What is God saying to us today? What is he saying? 40, the number of completion, the number of wholeness. God is speaking to us to be whole and complete and to do his work. When I was meditating on this, I said, Lord, what are you saying to us? What is it that you want us to hear? He said, I want my people to focus on me. I want my people to focus on my work. He said, they are focusing on too many other things. They're distracted with too many other things. And that's one of the reasons why we're out of the churches. God put us out of his house. Tell somebody, God put us out of his house. You know why God put us out of his house? Because we're not doing what he asked us to do. We're too busy going through the motions. I'm just trying to help somebody today. I'm trying to help somebody because when we get out of this thing, I want somebody to be delivered. When we get out of this thing, I want somebody to have the right attitude and the right mindset. I was watching an interview on television with the sports commentator, Rashad, and he interviewed Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Warren Sapp, and Derek Jeter. The greatest athletes that we have ever seen in our time, in our lifetime. And he asked them, what is it about you that make you champions? What is it? What is the one distinct characteristic that makes you who you are and make you want to win? You know what they said? They all agreed on one thing. They all agreed on determination. Y'all say that with me. Determination. Say it again. Determination. Jesus was talking to the disciples, blessing them as he was ascending, saying, I need you to be determined about repentance. I need you to be determined to carry my word. I need you to be determined about doing my work. I need you to be determined about spreading the gospel. I need you to be determined, focusing on what he wants from us in ministry. Yeah, the choir's good. Yeah, the praise is good. Yeah, the trips for the kids are good. Yes, the youth ministry, all of that stuff is good. But at the bottom line, at the end of the day, how much are we doing based on what the Bible says? Feeding the hungry, yes. Helping the widows, yes. But how are we winning Christ? How are we selling Christ? How determined are we to do God's work? We are too busy in trivial, petty things, and that is nothing but the enemy taking control over the minds of the people. That's why Jesus says, don't you know? He's telling what he asks you to do. I'm trying to help somebody today. I'm trying to help ministry. I'm trying to help people. I want us to think about something, and it's so amazing how things work, because I was also looking at Maya Angelou's song, Still I Rise. And I believe if Jesus had an anthem, if Jesus had a word today, he will say the same words to all of us today. And it's a message. You can kick me. You can try to keep me down. You can hate on me all you want. But guess what? Still I rise. Is anybody ready to rise? Is anybody out there saying, still I rise? I've been through some stuff. I've been talked about. I've been scorned. I've been abused and misused. But still I rise. Is anybody out there can say, I've been through a whole lot of stuff. But still rise. Let us look at the words, just a few verses of that poem. And I want us to get this in our spirit, because despite the quarantine, despite where we are right now, we can still rise. And then the poem also reflects how people treated Jesus, what they did to Jesus. And despite all of that, he still rose. You can rise too. Tell somebody. High five yourself. High five yourself. High five. Text somebody, email somebody, share this, let somebody know it's a celebration. It's a celebration. We're celebrating God. We're celebrating life. We're celebrating you. We're celebrating your salvation. We're celebrating the family. We're celebrating our relationship. Tell somebody to the right and to the left. It's a celebration. Maya Angelou, I want us to listen carefully to this. She said, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may tread me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. The first resurrection of Jesus Christ, he's saying that to us. They talked about him, they ridiculed him, and they put him in the dirt. And he says, but still, like dust I rise. But still, like dust I rise. Is anybody ready to rise with Jesus today? Is anybody ready to rise with the Holy Spirit? And then the second verse correlates with the second resurrection of Jesus Christ. The last resurrection of Jesus Christ. The second verse correlates with the last resurrection of Jesus Christ. Listen to it. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. Remember, Jesus was killed because people were hating on him. You know what's beautiful about this? People can still hate on you, and they can hate on you all they want to, but guess what? You rise. Tell all of your haters out there, guess what? I'm still rising. Turn to the right, turn to your left, say, hey, guess what? They hated on me, but I'm rising. They talked about me, but I'm above it. They tried to shoot me down, but I'm above it right now. I'll rise. He said, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, and I want you to listen to this real quickly, still, like air, I'll rise. Hallelujah, somebody. Jesus rose on this very Sunday, 40 days after he was resurrected from the dead. This is a celebration. It's a celebration for who we are. And let us back up for a moment. Let us back up for a moment, because when we think about this thing, if Jesus just rose from the dead and just stayed there, that means he would just still be roaming the earth. And that means the kingdom of God would have never been established. I guess I'm going to say that again, because Jesus came to establish the kingdom. And he had to go through all of these things to establish the kingdom. So if Jesus had not risen, and if Jesus had not ascended, how could the kingdom of God be established? If Christ had not risen, then he wouldn't have been able to establish the kingdom in order for us to have the Holy Spirit. Y'all looking kind of bored. Wake up! Wake up out there. Think about it for a moment. No ascension, because he told the disciples, go back to Jerusalem, get some peace in your spirit, get some peace in your soul, because you cannot have the Holy Spirit operating in you with a full function. If you scared, if you hateful, if you mad, if you have malice, the Holy Spirit cannot operate in that. So he says, go everybody, y'all go right now, everybody, go right now, go to your closet, go to your prayer room, go back in the kitchen, go back in the room, go everywhere you need to go and get centered in peace, so that the peace of God can embrace you, so that the peace of God can operate in you, so the Holy Spirit can come in and do what the Holy Spirit is supposed to do. So he has established the kingdom by ascending. If he hadn't ascended, we don't have any Holy Spirit, we don't have any anointing, we don't have any ability to rise above our stuff. I'm just trying to teach this morning. I'm just trying to help us learn something for a minute. I'm just trying to help us get somewhere. So scholars have often tried to analyze, why is it that we don't celebrate the ascension? What is it in our minds that as Christians we emphasize Christmas, we emphasize Easter, and we emphasize the Pentecost? But why is it that we have minimized the ascension? I came up with my own theory. Even though in the early Christian days, they talked about the ascension just as much as the resurrection. So if you go back and review the Bible, ascension is talked about just as much as ascension and resurrection. Basically talked about the same in the Bible. So what is it about us today that make us not want to celebrate the fact that Jesus rose into the heavenly realm? Is it because we can't fathom that? We can fathom a virgin being born miraculously impregnated. We can fathom him rising from the dead. But why is it that we don't wrap our minds around that? And I'm not a theologian, I'm not a biblical scholar, but what I surmise is that as human beings, we can see something rise from the dead, but to see something go away from us does not necessarily connect in our minds as something coming to us. If you see somebody walking away from you, if you see somebody leaving from you, it is hard to visualize that that person is actually coming to you as they're walking away. So in our minds, we can embrace coming up, we can embrace birth, but Jesus leaving us, it's hard for us to comprehend that him leaving us means that he's